Hey, hope y'all are doing all right. I hope your day was good, and I want to talk to you something that's sometimes really difficult for us to work through. But what happens when we have a day that's not amazing? When we look at the day, because there's going to be days that aren't amazing, and I want you to know it's still an amazing day. Why? Because of this. It's okay to not be okay, and that's actually an amazing thing to admit, because many of us struggle with that and we have issues with that. And I want to explain to you a verse in scripture we find from the Apostle Paul, and he talks about this whole thought about struggling in our weakness. He says, his grace is sufficient for me. His grace is sufficient, and his strength is made perfect in weakness. But then he also says, therefore I would rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Christ may rest upon me. Because I know how difficult that is for us to admit that it's not okay. This morning, can I be completely honest? This morning I woke up and it was a little earlier morning than usual for me. And I was reading, and then I looked at some pictures and came across some pictures of Marcus, and I was thinking about Melissa and Valentine's Day, and came across some wedding photos, and I started to look at pictures of Marcus. I'm gonna be honest, I lost it. I just lost it, and my heart was overwhelmed in the moment, and I wasn't okay. And I want you to know it's okay to say that you're not okay, because that's in that moment when God shows up in our honesty that we can admit those things. Because many of us put the front on and we wear the mask that I'm okay, I'm fine, how's your day? I'm good, but you're really not good. You're struggling, you're having issues. And I want you to know that's okay, that makes you human, right? And so then in reality, it's not a bad day. It's an amazing day because you just did something that most people never will do, to admit that you're not okay. That is amazing, because it's in that when we admit that we're not okay and we admit that we're struggling and we're faltering and I don't have the strength. You know what? That's the address that God shows up. You want to know the address that God shows up to? It's your weakness. It's your weakness. God shows up there every moment when you can admit right to God and also to yourself that I'm not strong, because it's not me that's meant to be strong. It's Him in me that is meant to be strong. And so I want you to know that I know many of you may be struggling, maybe not even with the issue with Marcus, but I know that's how it connects us all. But you may have some other things you're going on in life. And I want you to know that you can have an amazing day when you think you're not having an amazing day, by just admitting that I'm not okay and the day don't feel amazing, but that's what makes it amazing, that I have a God that cares and wants to overwhelm me with His grace and carry me through and pick me up. So I want you to know, when you're weeping and you're struggling, amazing days just aren't when, hey, everything's great, I could sing Kumbaya, everything's good. No, amazing days are even when I can admit that I'm not okay. And I want you to know that, and I want to encourage you in that it is okay not to be okay, because that is an amazing thing to admit. It's a humbling thing and a hard thing to do. But I want you to know that you are literally with those that are struggling in the scriptures that we find, the Apostle Paul, many others who had to admit, Lord, I need you in this moment. I'm faltering, I'm failing, I'm struggling, I'm weak. That's why He said, I came to live in you. I came to give my life for you, that you can literally give yourself to me, that I may be your strength and I may be that stronghold in the day of trouble. So it's okay not to be okay. And when you admit that day is amazing. So tomorrow, some of you are struggling. Might not be everybody. This challenge might not be for everybody. But for some of you, tomorrow you're going to need to admit, even right in this moment, and say that, you know what, I'm not okay. And you know what, that's okay. Because that's an amazing day, because His grace is sufficient, and I only know His grace is sufficient when I can admit that I'm not okay. And literally His strength is made perfect in my weakness. His strength, and then not just that, I will rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Christ and the glory of God may rest upon me. There's nothing greater and more amazing than that, when God rests upon me and works through me. So hope your day is amazing, even if it's not okay. It's okay to admit that you're not okay, because it'll be amazing then when you do that. God help you. I'm praying for you. If I can, send me a message. I hope your day is wonderful, your evening is wonderful, and tomorrow is even better. God bless you. Have a great night.